Welcome back to close-up eyeshadow tutorials. Somebody on my last video said that they wanted to see, actually a couple people said lavender and lilac, and then one person mentioned, I think, lavender or lilac with silver. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get zoomed in. So I primed my lids with my Urban Decay why do I always wanna say all-nighter, priming potion. And then set on the outer perimeter with a little bit of powder. So I'm gonna start off by mixing these two shades from Half Magic. This is Crown Please and Lavy Winkle. And then I'm going to start building that up on my inner and outer corners with my Sigma E54 brush, which you can get in my favorite set with Sigma, just saying. Whew, that color. Those two colors mixed though. I think we're doing something here. These Half Magic shadows are very nice because they're so soft and they really give you a good amount of blending time. So inner corner and then blending up slightly. I don't know if I mentioned this. One of the persons, I almost just said, one of the people who requested lavender and or lilac said that they wanted to see a halo eye. Actually, maybe it was the person who talked about the silver. They wanted to see a halo eye, so that's what we're doing. So we're gonna be focusing on the inner and outer corners of the eye to begin with. Meeting up here, depends on your eye shape. You don't have to like connect up at the top. You can leave it open, which is also like it makes it like maybe a little bit more edgy, but because of my eye shape, I like to connect them. So I have some more like definition happening just above my crease. All right, I'm gonna use that same brush for my lower lash line. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna place it on the inner and outer part. Again, leaving the center blank and connecting, connecting over here. I wanna make sure I'm connecting this part with this part, and I'm leaving the center blank. Girl, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I love, the best thing about liquid and cream eyeshadows is that you don't have to worry about fallout. It is so nice, especially as I get older. As I get older and I have zero patience for blending slowly, I just want to throw it all down. Ooh, so pretty. The sun is really working against me right now. It's so rude. So now I'm going to grab the Hindash Monochromance palette, and I'm going to use Anti and Dote, probably just anti, purple, and then I might actually mix it with a little bit of the pink, just to add a little bit of warmth to it. For that, I'm going to use my Refer 14 brush. I'm going to go between this, tap into this a little bit, and then go back into the purple. So mostly purple with a little bit of taps into that pink. And I'm going to use this to really set and soften that initial purple that we put down. So same deal for the halo. You always want to make sure that you're applying the most pigment in the area that you want it to be the most dark or saturated. So for me right here, I want the most right here, and then I'm blending out and up. Same thing on the lower lash line. I'm going to use my Refer 28 brush. Same process. And then to build up some contrast, I'm going to use that same 28 brush I'm gonna pick up Dote from the Hindash palette. I'm gonna really intensify the halo, a little bit more precision. So I'm starting on the outer part of the eye and kind of carving in like around that eye socket. Bringing it back to the lash line, outer part of the lash line. I would say part, the outer corner of the lash line. Be more specific. What are you talking about? Do the same thing here. So from that inner corner, just being a little more precise and then slowly blending up. Why are you not focused? That is so incredibly rude. I don't know if you saw any of that. Here, and then going in a little bit, but I'm gonna leave the center crease the way it is. So just increasing the contrast here and here. Now, if you're someone who has eyes that bulge, if you find that your eyes bulge, this is not a look you're gonna wanna do because it's just going to enhance that. But if you have small eyes and you really want them to stand out, defining this area or defining these areas like this shape can look really nice. And then for the lower lash line, I'm just gonna do it right there. And I'm only gonna focus on the outer part for the lower lash line, just to balance my eyes a little bit more. Okay, for the center of the lid, where I have no shadow, I'm just gonna take that 14 brush and just dust so it's not so harsh. And then for the center of the lid, oh, I lost a lash. For the center of the lid, I'm gonna go back in to my Lightwork VF. We're gonna call it VF from now on, just kidding. Volume 5 palette from Danessa Myricks, and I'm going to go in with Invincible, this shade. And I'm gonna use a clean E54 to pick up that shadow. And I'm gonna pat this right in the center of the lid. Focusing it in the center. I want to really build that up and then just blend a little bit on the outer part. So pretty, very ethereal. Ooh, do I want to build it up more than that? That's kind of pretty. I like that it's like kind of sheer. Maybe just like a little bit more. Just patting gently, again, focusing it in the center. And then just dipping a little bit into the purple so that it's not like harsh, but that looks so pretty. Very soft. So just gentle patting. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for the lower lash line in the center. I'm gonna use my Rougher 26 brush. Just do the same thing, pat that right in the center. Now for my waterline, I'm gonna go in with the MAC Color Excess Sterling Shiver. Wait, Shiver? Gel pencil eyeliner. And I'm gonna place this just in the center of my waterline. Now you can finish just like this, but I want to add just like a tiny bit of definition, like a little bit of a wing to the outer corner to balance a little bit the halo eye. So I'm going to grab my Sigma EO6 brush and then my Hindash Beautopsy palette. I'm just going to grab the black and I'm going to build that at the outer corner of the lash line. And then I'm just going to flick that up a little bit. I don't want to take that out too far. I just want to kind of like add a little enhancement of the outer part of my lash line, just like a little extension of my lashes so that this shape doesn't like totally round out my eyes. right, so finish off, I'm going in with Iced Pearl from Sephora. Just really complements the lavender with a little bit of those pink tones. But it is pretty cool toned, so it's gonna look nice with that silver. Pop that right in here, just to add a little bit of reflect to this inner corner. But it's not going to compete with, it's gonna be pretty like fine and gentle in terms of reflect. It's not gonna compete with what we have on the center of the lid. So I'm just diffusing that nicely. All right, you know the deal. I'm gonna curl with my Velour Lash Curler. And then I'm gonna go in with one coat of my Clio Super Proof Long Curling. And then once that's dry, I'm gonna go in with Buxom Extrovert on my top and lower lashes. All right guys, here they are up close. How do we feel? What do we think? Thoughts? I think it's beautiful. It's very ethereal. It's very ethereal and soft, but it's very ethereal and feminine, but also there's some edge to it. I think because my lashes ended up being a little bit spikier than I intended, like they ended up being a little bit like, I don't know, spikier. But there's something about the silver that just adds like a little bit of an edge too. Here's a zoom out of the whole look in case you were, wondering, you wanted to see it all together. The sun over here is really playing me right now. Like, it's a little intense. But I love it so much. I'm glad that someone requested it. It's beautiful. Purple and silver really they just go really nicely. Time for the end of the video. Answer a question segment. I don't know what the hell I don't know what I'm calling this. Let's find a question. Oh my God, Ruby. My sponges always get tiny mold spots. How often do you replace them entirely? Maybe they just aren't fully drying because I'm getting them too wet. Okay, so sponges. Sponges are, I feel like they're a point of contention for a lot of people. I don't typically replace a sponge until it's completely destroyed. This is, I think, the Ofra sponge, and it's got little, I don't know if you can see the little rips in it. It's got some little rips in it. Usually once those rips get crazy, that's when I will replace it. I've never had a mold on a sponge, ever. So the way that I wash my sponges, because I've tried a lot of the tricks like boiling and all of that, which might sound like a good option for you, girl. What I do is I wash them before every use. I will drench it in dish soap, Dawn dish soap, because it's very good. The stuff, I've said it a million times, the stuff that they clean the ducks with, okay? Because it cuts the oil and the grease. And I will get it fully soaked, squeeze out some water, dump the soap on it, squeeze it, put it back under the water, back and forth, try to get as much of the makeup out as possible. And I take my time with it, okay? I make sure it's real clean. You wanna make sure that you're getting down into the deep depths of that sponge. Then, once I feel like I've gotten as much as I possibly can out, I will squeeze it all out and then douse it in rubbing alcohol, okay? Douse it in rubbing alcohol. And squeezing it out is really important because you wanna make sure that the center isn't full of water so that rubbing alcohol can permeate to the center. So it's disinfecting. It is disinfecting everything. And I'll just kind of gently squeeze, move it around, make sure that the thing is fully saturated, let the rubbing alcohol sit for a while so that it can kill all the bacteria and whatever. Then I will squeeze it out fully, and then I'll just rinse it with water so that I'm not putting rubbing alcohol on my face. And then when you use it, you just want to make sure that it's you want to make sure it's damp and nice and soft. You want to feel some hydration, but you don't want it to be fully soaked. So you want to make sure that you're squeezing it out well enough, If you do that, I can't imagine that you would have mold in any of your sponges. I've even done the test before where I've had an old sponge and I've cut it in half to see like what it looks like on the inside, and it's been good. Like they've always been good. So maybe give that a shot if you have any problem with makeup sponges. Like I said, I will not replace it usually until I've like ripped it up fully from all of the cleaning that I do. I don't really have allegiances to sponges. If you want to see a video about like sponge comparisons or something, let me know like what the best ones for application are. I definitely have ones that I like favor, but I'll use any sponge. You know what I mean? Whew, girl, that like, I'm shook. Mold spots. Ugh. I hope that that was helpful. No judgment. We're here to help, okay? We're here to help. Just a little shocking. I hope you enjoyed this look. So pretty. Love it. I have nowhere to go. Maybe I'll just go for a walk, a quick walk, and do this so that people can see the look. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see next. Other palettes, other color combinations. Yeah, that's it, dude. Bye. Oh, subscribe and things. Goodbye.